Okay, season 2, episode 4, keeping up A-Fear-Ances. Always love the plan words.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brock, starting with you, things you noticed, things you liked about this episode.
I didn't think we were going to be meeting Ada's mom ever, so that was interesting.
Yeah, it had to happen eventually.
Mm-hmm. It was interesting. Interesting seeing characters trauma bond over shitty parents.
Oh, always something that I love about this show, the trauma bonding with characters.
Mm-hmm.
Misao, how'd you feel rewatching this episode?
I was like, oh, we're up to this episode. Because I forgot where we left off last and what episode came next. And then I'm like, oh, yes, you get scammed. Like every old lady probably on social media getting scammed.
She got a pyramid scheme.
Pretty much. And also the bees. The bees are back.
Not the bees! Oh, God.
As far as the lore of this episode, we get a little drop of that towards the end. We'll put a pin in that for now.
Oh.
But what did you think of Gwendolyn?
I thought it was interesting. I have to admit that I was hit with a little bit of fairy godmother from Shrek when I first saw her.
Yeah, I can see it.
There.
Like if she starts singing "I Need a Hero," I'm gonna lose my shit. No, I thought it was interesting. It is that overreactive mother type, and I know what's best for my child and all that.
Yeah.
I have a mother that would rip you to shreds and then paint your corpse with your name onto your parents' house if you ever mess with a child. So I know how that is.
The mama bear instincts.
Yeah,
Yep.
if you got along with us and were friends with us, you were treated as one of her children. The second you did anything wrong to us, your parents weren't going to find your body unless my mother wanted them to. Did not mess with my mother.
It is just a little bit unfortunate that in this family, Lilith got the short end of the stick in terms of getting the parents' attention, but
Yes.
you know, it happens.
That always happens. It's just it would have wondering to see how these situations happen with when there's two kids, because the rule of thumb is generally that when it's 3 kids that the baby gets all the attention. I'm not saying that
I feel called out. I feel called out now.
I'm not saying that I'm the baby of the family and I get accused that both my sisters are getting all the attention, but you get different dynamics when it's only 2 and the older sibling is the star of everything, as you learned in the earlier episodes. But then of course you get the thing that, like, yeah, I wasn't spending as much time with you. You also didn't have a curse that was altering your biology and going to turn you into a deadly owl creature. So no, I might have unintentionally not spent as much time with you.
There's also a little bit of commentary on people with disabilities, and that's kind of where Gwendolyn's story arc is, that she's wrongly, mind you, she has the wrong idea that you have to cure a disability and not just you know, deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a lot of those, the mutant cure variety type of stuff where it's not like, no, something's wrong with you. Like, no, not quite.
Yeah.
It's just how I was put together.
Yeah.
If anything, it's your fault, Mom. You made me, remember? The reason I have this attitude, you cannot be upset with me when you get you back at you. I love that whenever I see my nieces or nephews being jackasses to my sisters, I'm like, God, I can't imagine who had to deal with that from someone else growing up. God, it's just terrible they're doing that to you now.
Oh,
Oh, can't imagine how I survived it for 18 years. God, how are you guys just going to do it? I don't know.
you know, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
Mm-hmm. My favorite thing, though, I must admit, is growing up, my oldest nephew, I would go to my sister's house and like go over like family occasion, and I would hear him being a dink, and from the other room I would hear her accidentally call him Brock and then laugh a little inside. It's like ha 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 ha. It helps that two of her children, when they were growing up, looked identical to me as a child. So it's like, you just get to deal with me again.
Nice.
Can't escape it.
Oh God.
Now what did you think of Lilith now experiencing her own curse?
It was interesting. I didn't know that we were actually going to have them deal with the curse anymore.
Oh, did you think the curse was just kind of like put aside because that was season one's problem?
Well, that, and they kind of inadvertently acted like that's what it was. They like just go on for 3 episodes and don't mention like anything. Like life just went on because it's split. It doesn't affect them anymore. They're just like, oh, we're sharing it. It's all good. That was the end of the episode, and then season 2 started, and then they never mentioned it for 3 episodes at all. So it's kind of just like, oh, they split it, but I guess it doesn't affect them by turning. But by that same wager, they can't use their normal magic. I was like, so it kind of balances the scales out, I guess. That's what I thought, anyway.
Yeah, I can see why you thought that. I also just think bringing the curse back for this episode is just a fun way to introduce their parent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It also leads to probably one of the better moments when Gwendolyn finally shows her love and support for both of them.
Oh, absolutely. Showing the misinterpretation of what they really meant when they were younger for certain things, which every parent doesn't. Anyone of multiple children doesn't realize that they did certain things certain ways, and even if they didn't mean it, it still happens.
Yep.
It is impossible to be a perfect parent.
Yeah.
Kind of part of the job.
Yeah, it's all just trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there is no manual of how to adult and how to parent.
No, you try to be a perfect parent, you're going to be the worst parent there is. Sorry to tell you.
Yeah, that's just the unfortunate truth.
Anyone who does that ends up raising really shitty children.
You just hope for the best.
Mm-hmm. They don't die by the time they're 18. You did pretty okay for the most part.
Yeah, true.
Now, what did you think of the scam artist, the little gremlins?
I do like that it was literally a gremlin. It's just like, I love watching. This is reminding me of the people that call and be like, if you do not communicate with us, we'll be contacting the authorities. I'm sorry, I'm using this accent, but that's 9 times out of 10 what the scammer sounds like. And then like I'm watching TikTok videos of a guy saying he's going to contact the police, that this is an illegal action, and he's talking to a police officer on a station line. I would really love you to contact my authorities, sir. I think that would be the best thing to do. I will wait here on the phone as you contact me, sir. What? You were talking to a police officer, sir. What you're spouting at me is false. What? And the fact that it's literally buy the next volume to figure out what the cure is.
That was like that was the wake up call that nope, you're being scammed.
I was partially expecting it to be, no, if I sell so many of the copies of this book, then I'll get my own books. And then if you sell so many copies, literal pyramid scheme as it goes up. I almost got roped into one of those for silverware when it was for like knife sets back in the day when I was first getting out of high school. You should come and do this, blah, blah, blah. Then I got to the marketing meeting and they're like, this knife can cut a penny in half, and you guys can go sell it. And if you sell enough, you'll get other people. I'm like, no. That's not what you told me was going to happen when you got me in here. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I feel like every kid at high school had one of those jobs.
Yeah, that's. It's something. It's something.
So about that lore towards the end.
Yes.
Luce is kind of she's a pretty passive protagonist in this episode. Just kind of
you don't want to talk about the saddest moment in this episode?
Wait, which one? Oh yeah, poor Hootie.
I'm going to be leaving with my mom. Who? What?
I love King's line. Wait, you lived here?
You lived here? Yeah, this goes back to me wondering on Sir Douchebagus Maximus, the Emperor, thinking that he's actually a human because you don't see his face, and now the good old mother's talking about a human used to live here, and he disappeared a while back. God, I can't imagine what that might line up with.
You were saying a thing about a person.
About God, this guy who he's this human just disappeared a long time ago, and he
was a human.
Disappeared. We don't know what happened to him, but magically there used to be another human, and now there's this guy that wants to get back to the human realm really bad. And I don't know what that connects to whatsoever.
I'm passing this to you.
But that's none of my business. Wait, is that a set of dots I see right there? Okay.
Mike, you have the floor.
All I'm going to say...
This is Mike's... Oh, wait. I don't know how to respond to that. Give a spoiler pause.
All I'm going to say is that the next episode... Okay, I'll say this. This is the least spoiler thing I can say. The next episode picks up pretty much where this one leaves off in terms of Luce wants to find the diary or whatever it is.
Yes, we get more from it.
Get to learn more about the fake Luce that is currently watching animal documentaries with her mother.
That will be
brought up later on. But what is your prediction?
I don't know, because I don't know what is all able to shapeshift in this reality just yet. That could be a abomination. That could be a lot of things. I'm not entirely quite sure. Because the thing is, even though that portal's open, no one except for Luce knows what Luce's mom looks like. No one else had that information. She wasn't just handing out flyers with her mom's face on it. Or what her last name was to find her home address. I'm just gonna throw those two details out there, unless they just totally gloss over that for plot details.
Okay.
Write that down. Write that
Making a note of that.
down. No. Trying to think what other predictions can you make. Oh, like towards the end, Lois was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go like be home and reconnect with Dad," and you saw Ida kind of, giving like a gesture.
Okay,
So,
yeah,
that's well.
that's a good one. What do you think happened to Ida's dad?
Oh boy, I'm just going to assume that they never got along that well in the first place, because you never hear Lilith ask where Dad is when the mom shows up.
Write that down. Write that down.
So, I don't know.
And how do you think Hootie will keep in touch?
I don't know. I think she's going to make someone write letters to send to her, or she's going to somehow dig through the ground and show up at Gwendolyn's house.
How's Hootie going to be?
Oh, Lucifer.
Trying to think, what other predictions can he make?
Last thing I'll say before we wrap this up: Hootie is best character.
That's how everybody is singing King, but okay.
Well, King is also the best character.
It's like there's many people who are best character.
And you're gonna see another one next time. And until next time, Miss Al, where can everyone find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at Kibalo028.
And Brock?
You can find me everywhere at Organoid0, mainly on Twitch and YouTube.
And you guys can find me on various social media sites at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/Coach K42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and that place at Ren Pop Culture. You can also find us on YouTube, on Podchaser. Consider supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. You can escape, so do we. And until next time,
Bye!